Good afternoon here in Houston, Texas. Nice to see everyone. I see we already have some questions. Wonderful. Oh, dang it. I forgot to give the link because if you wanted to. Okay, so next Tuesday, I will put the link in the description below so that you could join the lobby or join the broadcast if you'd like to ask a question. But of course, you're more than welcome to post a comment down below with your question, and I'll absolutely try my best to answer it. So let's see here. Well, by the way, I'm going to post a video for tomorrow about any specific update on the reform. I apologize. I said I was going to do it yesterday, but we had a lot of cases to take care of course. So let's see here. Let's start with the first question. Wassam, nice to see you again, sir. Good morning. I want to ask, yeah, Monday you asked about vote on TPS, DACA, and Dreamers, and also humanitarians. What was that humanitarian well, Wassam, if you're asking about what's going on with the reform or Congress on that, it's still early. So if there's anything I can find about that, I'll definitely record about that for tomorrow. Okay, so I hope to have that live tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Let's see here. Okay, so I hope I kind of answer your question, or I think I know what your question is. If not, please ask in a different way. Okay, Wassam? Hi, Agnes. Are they going to deny you if your high school certificate, the date of birth on that certificate is different than your passport on date of birth? They would send you a request for evidence. That's for sure. I've had a couple cases, very limited situations like this. They do verify your birth history, your birth facts. So usually in that kind of situation is your birth certificate. So if you have a birth certificate, they won't even look at your passport. But I guess my question to you, Agnes, is that what kind of high school certificate will show your date of birth? I don't think mine does, unless you're talking about like a high school enrollment card. Hopefully your high school diploma itself does not have a birth certificate. So we're happy to take a look. Agnes, you can fill out the intake form down below, and our CARES team will get in contact with you within 24 hours. Okay, hopefully it helps. But yes, in general, the government, I know that for Mexico at least, the government is actually a public website that you can search someone's name and date of birth and make sure that person's actually registered to have birth in that country. So in that situation, it was the client didn't have I guess you could say like a traditional birth, like in America, if it would be at a hospital, I think they call it midwife. It was done at home. So there's a lot of complication in terms of parents probably forgot to actually register her birth certificate. So that obviously caused a problem in immigration, but now it's cleared up. We're able to get it done. So let's see here. Hopefully that helps, Agnes. But yeah, fill out a form down below. It starts with Ting Law if we can help you, or if you have questions. Hi, Mary. Thanks for calling me Juan. Some people. Oh, that's funny. That reminds me of a story when I was in college. My Spanish teacher called me Juanito. So y'all are welcome to call me Juanito if you like. You want to know about the timeline for 730 with 602 waiver. What is the timeline shows that website accurate? Okay, well, let's see. Let me see if I can pull that up for you on the internet. And I would definitely want to show y'all. Mary, do you know which location it's located for your application? Okay, if you take a look at your receipt notice, it usually shows on the very bottom. In the meantime, I'm going to the USCIS website to take a look at the processing time. Hopefully under President Biden, these processing times will be accurately reflected. As you might know, these processing time schedule or timetable it shows, like, for example, 12 months to 48, 50 something months. It's because they're including the time period of those, like the 1% of cases where they haven't sent any evidence, or like the 5% of cases where the government just doesn't make any decision, even though they had an interview several years before. So, okay, so I'm clicking on I730. Okay, well, there's first I730. There's 2 locations. I'm going to click on Nebraska Service Center for you, Mary. And let's see what it says here. All right, let me go back a steps and let me share my screen so you all have an idea what to do. You don't always have to wait for me, but I will show you. Okay, that's the one right there. Okay, so I am on the uscis.gov website. Let me make it a little larger. So you want to scroll down. Look, everyone has a friendly phrase here. It's not always so friendly when we call into USCIS, which, by the way, after the show or tonight, I will put a link. Our team will put a link about how to find updates from the government. Okay, so this is kind of one way, and it's not the best way, but at least it gives you an idea. So you click on the form, select one. Mary, you asked about I-730 at least. So here's the refugee asylee relative petition. Click on that. Then it says which location. There's 2. So let me just click on Nebraska for now. Okay, now it shows processing time for this type of application, Nebraska. Okay, it shows 15 months to 19 and a half months. Okay, this is to include family members. I'm assuming you're trying to be included in maybe a spouse's application. And it shows here the receipt date for a case inquiry. So this is what I'll be discussing in my link that I will provide tonight in more detail. So August 8th, 2019, if you have a receipt notice that has a date before that, then you can submit an inquiry online, or you can call in the 800 number. And the 800 number will be on your receipt notice. I think it's 1-800-375-5283 or something like that. I'm probably wrong, but I always have to check the receipt notice. But anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea. And I share that this cutoff date, it doesn't say cutoff, but that's what it really means. Because even if let's say your receipt date is after that, let's say August 9th, just even one day later, if you call in or if you try to submit an inquiry, it won't let you. Or you can call in, of course, but let's say you wait a couple hours on the phone, it will be frustrating. I want to try to save you any stress from doing that, because when you call in, you finally get in to talk to someone, a live, real person, and you tell them the receipt notice, you tell them your name, you tell them what type of application. This whole process alone, just that part, takes like 15 to 30 minutes. So it's very frustrating. And then at the end, they're going to say, oh, you know what? Sorry, your receipt date does not meet the cutoff time period, so you cannot submit inquiry. Now, I don't know if this is what I can tell you is this is something that former President Trump required, at least his puppets, the people under him. They changed this customer service part. It used to be that you can pretty much submit anytime you want an inquiry. So, I mean, to one extent, it's good, in terms for the government wise, so they can control the flow. But the problem is these receipt dates, they're so far back. That's a year and a half ago. It's crazy before you can get any kind of idea. And even when you do submit an inquiry, to be honest, it's usually not too much information. So the government does need to do a better job about that. That's for sure. Okay, so hopefully I gave you an idea, on how to check that. So let's say you have a inquiry date before that. I'll get to the other questions very soon. Thank you for the questions. And friends, please let me know where y'all watch from. I know many of y'all are always watching the live shows. I appreciate you tuning in. Please share this video with your friends so YouTube can share this channel with more people. And that means please kindly hit the like button. Okay, so I'm going to click on, if you can see my mouse here, not that one, but actually this one. Okay, so let's say your receipt date is before August 8th, 2019. You click on this, inquire about a case outside normal processing time, you're going to need this information right here: receipt number, A number, the date when you filed it. And that is, don't guess on that. You got to look at your receipt notice. It will have everything pretty much that you need. Okay. If you submit an inquiry before and you change your email address, you can use a different email address. That's okay. It does have a note here that they supposedly say we are actively working on your case processing. I highly doubt that. It's just sitting somewhere, unfortunately. They have they just take a long time for no reason. So they're just trying to say, hold on for 60 days after you submit your inquiry. Okay, so this is what the form looks like. We're happy to provide a link of this for you, my friend, after the show and in the description box. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the screen share. All right, Mary, hopefully it helps. Fami, nice to see you, my friend. I think I saw you last time. Sorry, I can't pronounce your first name. I don't want to butcher it, but thank you so much for your comment. That really does make my day better all the time when y'all appreciate the information, because then I know you enjoy how I share the information. It's very important, because if you don't enjoy it, then I need to kind of change it a little bit. So change how I explain it, because lawyers, we talk so fast, and so I'm always reminding myself to slow down. Okay, Wissam. Yes, thanks for calling me Juan. Yes, I will definitely let you know if I have information about that. If I see something about that, I will definitely let you know. Hi, Tuma. Nice to see you again. Your question: if you file with your two nephews for taxes, okay, as dependents, will they add to your household? Will it require me to make more income? Unfortunately, yes, it will require you. If you have them as dependents, that is what the form 864P, the letter P, that will show you the chart. Actually, I can try to go to that right now. But yes, the government does rely on who or how many people you show on your tax return. That's how they know how many dependents that they add onto your 864. All right, so let me see if I can add this. Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is 864P, the letter P after 864. And assuming you're not in Hawaii or Alaska, you just click the first one here for the other 48 states. And also assuming that you're not active military duty, you can skip the middle section. Okay, 125% of household health and human services. I think that's what HHS stands for, Health and Human Services Poverty Guidelines. So they're the ones that create this guideline. It pretty much changes almost every year. So for two people, you have to show 21,550. So assuming you're filing for your husband, I believe, you add your two nephews. Assuming you don't have any children, then you have to show at least 32,750. Okay, but if you also have children of your own, then you have to add them as well. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Okay. Okay, Sammy Sosa. What's up, my friend? Are there any updates for DACA and Dreamers this week? Oh, that's a wonderful question. So far, they're just negotiating back and forth. Unfortunately, Congress does not always share everything with us in terms of what exactly they're thinking. Of course, whoever's the majority party will be the one to say what they want. Unfortunately, Democrats are not really a majority. They're 50 votes plus tiebreaker with Kamala Harris. So if you know, I'm not going to tell you what party to vote for, but please do what's right. Always vote, okay? Because the more people to vote, the less that, the more that you can complain, right? If you complain but don't vote, then of course you have to be a U.S. citizen. So if you know any U.S. citizens that are family members or friends, if there's anything you can talk about politics, is that you need to vote, okay? That's number one. And as we can know, for this past election, 2020, there was at least 8 million more people voted for Democrat. So it's clearly a sign that many people in America want, a more relaxed personality as a president, and also no drama, and someone that will focus and help on immigration and also the economy, of course, and many other things. So Sammy Sosa, I know I kind of went on tangent there, but my friend, there are still a lot of time they're gonna focus on this, because I know this week they were talking about like the quote unquote defund the police or police accountability bill. So I believe next week or the week after is when Congress or the House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer has said that that's when they're going to more focus on immigration, the supposed immigration week. So, so we'll definitely have an update tomorrow after I have a chance to review everything, and also for next week. You're welcome, Sammy. I appreciate it. Thanks for the question. George, nice to see you, my friend. Hope things are well with you. Oh, thank you very much. Likewise to you. You're still looking to hear any news about the 3 and 10 years bars? Yes. In the U.S. Citizenship Act, they definitely discussed that. So that's why many of us lawyers prefer that bill. If they're going to pass any bill, it has preferably that one, because it includes a lot of things that are on my wish list. If you saw my video a couple months or in January, and so other than that, I don't believe any other proposal has talked about this. By the way, my friends and fans watching, we have a program which you answered. Actually, if you answer the poll, 85% of y'all said that you would like a priority spot if one of these bills pass. So we've created a situation where you can sign up as a priority spot, and what we would guarantee, assuming you would still qualify, of course, whatever is finally passed, we guarantee that we will send your application with your evidence. Okay, so you have to give us some evidence within 2 weeks of the future law being allowed to let us mail it out. Now, of course, if for some reason you do not eventually qualify because they changed a lot of these provisions, then we will give you your money back. The only thing, to be honest, that we will keep is the consultation fee of $100. So right now we're only offering it for $249, because a lot of people have told us that they want to send it as soon as possible. Really, first come, first serve, basically. And for lawyer talk, we call that a retainer. So most retainers, like a civil law case, they cost in the thousands, but we're starting this at a special price for $249. And so we have more information about that. I think in the description box, we called it like reserve your spot or something like that. So take a look. No pressure, obviously, but every 2 weeks, actually in 3 days, we're bumping up the price $50. So every 2 weeks, we're bumping it $50 because we're only reserving 100 spots for this. But if you have questions about it, our team will get to you. Just fill out the intake form as well. Melania, good afternoon. You're asking about your 45, October 27, 2020. You did your biometrics. Okay, last month, about a month ago. When will you get your work card? Okay, great question. During the pandemic, it takes, on average, any of my clients, whether it's DACA goes a lot faster, by the way. That was like 1 month, especially people that are renewal. But in general, like a adjustment case, 45, that take at least average 5 months, okay? But the good thing is you already did your biometrics. So when I say 5 months, that's usually average 5 months after you file your case. So you did October 27th, so just assume November 1st. I have to point out my fingers. November, December, January, February, March. March is 5 months. So maybe give it to the end of March. But even if it goes 6 months, that's part of the average, right? That's part of the range. Because I've had like a couple 8 months time period. It took a ridiculously long time, but that was early on the pandemic. So the good thing is the government has your case. You got your biometrics done, because I know a lot of people have been waiting for the biometrics notice. Okay, friends, I got about 10 minutes. I want to be mindful of your time. Thanks for your questions. Hi, Ray. Nice to see you again. How long? Okay, your question is, how long does it take to get your siblings? Okay, so I'm assuming you haven't filed yet. You're a U.S. citizen. Let me give you an idea here, okay, my friend. You know about the steps. So the first step is called a petition. I-130 is for family-based relationships. So for your siblings, once you file that, which by the way, I mean on average it takes at least 8 months for siblings, the petition. But I'll double check. Let me check what it says here with USCIS.gov. Okay, but that's only the first step. Okay, and then, but when you get the receipt notice, now that's very important. When you get the receipt notice in the middle, top middle, it has something called priority date. Priority date is very important because that will go to the next step when they can actually have the interview, when you can start processing for that. Okay, so let me just click on the uscis.gov website to see here for sibling. They have different locations that handle different types of applications, even with this, well, the same application, but different relationship. So let me see if I can find the one for siblings. Okay, friends, in the meantime, if you have a question, go ahead and submit it down below as a comment. And unfortunately, I do have to cut off in 9 minutes. So right at that time, if I have not answered your question, I apologize in advance. And if that's the case, you can do one of two things. The best way, honestly, is to submit click on the Ting Law URL, the website. You can submit an intake form with your question, and our CARES team will call you within 24 hours. Well, if you fill out on Saturday, we're not going to call on Saturday. We do have to take a little break, so we'll call you the next business day, or you could try to comment down below. But the best way is if you fill out an intake form. Okay, for some reason I can't find the one for sibling yet. Okay, let me go down another one. But anyway, while I'm doing that, let me share my screen so that I can show you the visa bulletin. Oh, good news. The April bulletin just came out. Wonderful. Okay, so now I'm here at the U.S. Department of State website, travel.state.gov. If you scroll down here, let me see if this is big enough for you. Okay, the screen here. Let me make it a little bigger. All right, that's perfect. Okay, so family-sponsored preferences. You asked about F4, brother, sister of adult U.S. citizens. As you can see here, they only allow 65,000 for this category for your siblings. Now, if you're wondering if you're a resident, can you file for siblings? I'm sorry, you cannot. You have to be a U.S. citizen. Okay, that's so you have to do that. Rain, which country are your siblings from? I don't want to guess, but if you're still on, please let me know so I can accurately tell you. But if I can show you here, if you're from China, India, Mexico, or the Philippines, okay, that has a much longer wait time, as you can see. Oh, you're from Philippines. Okay, so Philippines, F4 for Philippines, it shows April 2002. So April 2002, any of these dates on this chart, this is what we call the priority date. So if you file a petition now, assuming you haven't filed anything yet, you file it now, your priority date on the receipt notice says March 15th to 2021, then you're waiting about 19 years. It's a long time. It's ridiculous. So yes, the U.S. Citizenship Act proposal, they're talking about reallocating or using the unused visas from years before, which I didn't realize there were unused visas. I don't see how that's possible, but that's what they say. So hopefully that could help reduce the backlog. But I don't think it could be imagining that fast. So yes, I know, holy crap, you just wrote another comment about that. So that's why, I don't know, I think it was 2012 when Obama was president, Congress talked about removing this category F4 for siblings. So that's why I always recommend to fill out if you have a sibling, and even if they're kind of thinking about it, not too sure, because they got their family in their country. I get it. File the petition. If you want to give a gift to your sibling, this is what you can do. It doesn't obviously, if you get approved and it gets to the priority date, it doesn't mean they have to be forced to come, but at least because it's such a long wait time for any country. Look at Mexico, it's 1998. That's freaking ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, that's the category. F4 is the one that takes the longest out of all of them, my friends. So this is a gift of a lifetime for a sibling, even if they don't want to. Because I've had some clients, they ask their siblings, and they just don't want to come to America. I get it, but when you get older, you might want to. And by that time, you got to wait another 10, 15 years. So, sorry, I just get a little animated here about this. Yes, Rain, you should get it done. Okay. So, all right. Let me see here. Tuma, you're welcome. If you decide not to use your nephews for tax return, would that bring you problems with the IRS? You might want to talk to a CPA, accountant, or a tax lawyer about that. I don't think you don't have to go as far as a tax lawyer, but no, you don't have to put your nephews as a dependent. I'm just not familiar how that works in terms of tax credit. If anything, that would benefit you tax-wise if you add them as a dependent. And actually, that reminds me, the American Rescue Plan was, pretty sure it was passed yesterday, wasn't it? A lot of things going on in Congress, and if it did, which I'm pretty sure it did, let me check here. We've been so busy at the law firm that unfortunately we haven't been able to follow or watch the news as much. And maybe that's part because we don't have a drama queen as president right now. Thank goodness. Sorry if you're a Republican. I apologize. But that's the truth. Yes, I just see that Biden did sign it at least 7 hours ago. So that's wonderful news. So anyway, Tuma, I will talk about that in a separate video, actually, because, I think you can. This is not advice. Keep that in mind. Not tax advice, but I'm pretty sure this American Rescue Plan for COVID relief, it did increase, I think maybe to $2,000 or $3,000 for child tax credit for the purpose of the stimulus bill. It's not cash in your hand, but it's more like a tax credit, which ultimately could be cash in your hand if you get that as a tax refund. So that, yeah, it's a tough decision, very tough decision, Tuma, when there's money like that possibly coming in. So yeah, you just have to take a look at that form 864P, or I guess the chart. Okay, if you have questions about that, let us know. Millennia, thank you very much. Just here to tell the truth. Jewel, my friend, I see you from Jamaica. Kareem, okay, I've got less than 2 minutes. Let's see here. You came in the country in 2000 with C1D. You got approved I-130 2 years ago, but you stopped the process through NVC because of previous Trump administration to avoid going back home. Can I file a 485 here? Well, we got to take a look at that, okay? C1D, let me double check, but that makes me think crewman, right? Isn't that crewman? Yeah, transient crewman, crew member, that's right. Like a cruise or something like that. So I'll have to take a look and verify it. But last time I checked about crewmen, that you could not adjust, but there has to be a way. So we'll double check for you, okay? Fill out the intake form down below. But we definitely want to verify. We always verify because the 45, you probably know, it costs $1,225. It's ridiculous. So we want to make sure that you're eligible, okay? That you qualify. All right, Kareem, fill out the intake form below. That reminds me, friends, special offer for YouTube watchers, fans. We have a free 15 minutes just for you, okay? So just for you. If you tell your friends, that's fine, but your own friends have to subscribe to our channel, okay? So please share our video, but this is only for you. If people call in from Google, we do not offer this. In fact, if you find our calendar website, which if you want more time, we do ask for payment for that, of course. And we believe it's really reasonable price to get the accurate information. But you know, if someone will find us on Google, this is not offered for them. This is only for you, YouTube fans. So if you call in or you fill out the intake form, let them know that, let our cares team know that you found us on YouTube, okay? We greatly appreciate it. Unfortunately, I cannot answer any more questions. So I appreciate it, but fill out the intake form. And friends, until next time, please continue wearing a mask and check out our video for tomorrow, okay? Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.